Where's your boot camp boys?
Oh, Court's there. Oh yeah, I know. I have a little bit of a cold. I came back from conference with a little bit of a cold. I want to introduce Courtney. She's just going on right now. She's brand new on my team. I'm so excited. We went to high school together. Oh my gosh, we've known each other for years. And she reached out to me on Instagram and was like, what are you up to? Like, we need to talk. And Court actually doesn't have Facebook. She's a teacher, and but she uses Instagram. And so we actually just did a training call together, and she's absolutely awesome. You guys will love her so much. And she might even be out on Friday. Who knows?
Awesome. Welcome, welcome. Anyone else? Or if you're new and the person that you are under is not on, just unmute yourself and say hi. No, just new faces to me, I guess.
So hi, Crystal's there, but I don't know. She's there and she's not there.
Yeah, I see her now.
Do you see her now?
Just called.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad just called. Anyways, yeah, Tracy, my cousin Tracy. Sorry, I have to brush my hair. That's why I was not on video. My cousin Tracy, TD Tracy, she's on, and is her sister Becky on? Oh, and Becky's on. Yeah, so my two cousins, Becky and Tracy, they're sisters. So they are
that's
on.
great.
Yeah.
Welcome. There are so many sister teams, mother-daughter teams. It's so great. Love seeing that. So fun to work together like that. Amazing.
And they're, yeah, okay.
Good, good, good. Jen, did you message Nicole yet, by chance?
Can you want me to call her?
Yeah, put her on speaker.
Oh, Nicole. Well, maybe we could, Sarah Naylor, you want to start the call?
Yep, we can do that. I'm just going to
Yeah.
mute Sarah. All right, for those of
I'll
you.
mute myself while I yell at Nicole. I'm just joking. I'm not going to yell at her.
We can all yell at her.
All right. So for those of you that don't know Sarah, she's up in Ottawa. She basically started that whole area all by her little old self. Now she has a huge team up there, and she just recently hit NMD. We're so excited for her. She's going to do some awesome training for you guys tonight. Take it away, Sarah.
Thanks so much, Melissa. Yeah, so I am super excited just to share a little bit about the importance of events and inviting. And this topic is near and dear to my heart because I don't have the greatest track record for attending events. And just to be completely honest, my business changed when I stopped making excuses for attending events. And I've been actually pretty lucky that I have some pretty awesome leaders on my team that have gone to many events without me, but that's generally not the case. If your leader is not showing up to events, the likelihood of the team showing up is pretty low. And yeah, Melissa, 0. And, excuses are excuses. And, I always in my head thought, I have a baby. That's a really good excuse. But then, my teamie just brought her 8-month-old, 9-month-old all the way to Phoenix and was a total rock star about it. And there's just no excuses. Obviously, there are some pretty legit excuses, but I guess the story is, you just need to be there. You just need to. And once you get there, you realize why you need to be there because it's just so inspiring and you get so much from an event. You get the community aspect of it. You get all of the knowledge that and trainings, and the guest speaker always have such an amazing takeaway. I always get, 4 or 5 nuggets to bring back. But all events aren't, gonna work out how you expect them when you're hosting them. For example, Ottawa came off hot off the press last year. We were bringing in, 50 plus, which is pretty big for an area that has only a handful of distributors. And, life happened for all of us. I kind of got sucked into postpartum issues and, it really affected, I think, my team. And we're just kind of getting back into the groove. And myself and Sarah Morin, who you guys all know, we had a guest speaker, Guy Debut, scheduled last week in Ottawa, and both of us were really worried. Last week, even after we were having this conversation in conference, like, we don't have any numbers. And because there aren't very many active reps, we were really worried. And, we want to keep those numbers up, and we want to impress head office, and we want to keep getting corporate events in Ottawa. And I think so Guy Debut was here on Thursday, and on Monday, I think we only had 5 people confirmed on Eventbrite, and they were all distributors. And I messaged Sarah, I'm like, this is crazy. I'm like, but you want to know what? Let's just go for it and blast, invite. And once you make the decision that you're going to do something and just do it, like we were, Sarah and I have this funny game that we just get together and we she'll voice message an invitation and then I'll voice message. So we're together and we're voice messaging people, and we kind of just feed off each other's energy. And it ended up being such an amazing event. And it was great that it kind of reignited a lot of reps in Ottawa, which is awesome. When you don't leave things to the last minute, I am totally guilty of that. And because it's just not a great feeling leading into an event when you know that you really haven't put 100% into it. And there's so much that goes on behind the scenes of putting on events that you really want to be putting in 150% when inviting. Because not only, a lot of, distributors' time, but, corporate, puts in a lot of time getting, traveling and, arranging the speaker. And like I said, my business changed once I started attending events and my team started attending events, because we're storytellers, and what better way to hear a story in person and with tons of energy from like-minded people. You can't experience that, yes, Zooms and connection calls are awesome, but it's a game changer if you can get someone to an event. So yeah, that's kind of, the power of events is top on the list when you're trying to grow your business. So if you, have events in your area, definitely take advantage of them. If they're not in your area, carpool, fill your car, as Melissa High says. Get as many people, and even if it's just you and another rep, it's total game changer in the business when you can get to events. So, yeah.
Great, thanks, Sarah. Sorry that I was. You guys can hear me?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so Sarah opened it up. Thank you for that. I know that I missed a lot of it, but I'm sure that was some great. Does anybody have any questions or comments about events? Was Sarah clear on that?
I find just inviting is how you invite is super critical. When I started in the business, I was totally guilty of just mass messaging people, or like if you had a Facebook event, you would just add people, and I'd be like, why isn't anybody at my event? There's great training on the Team Be the Change on how to invite. Picking up the phone is, super scary, I know, but people actually are quite surprised, but pleasantly surprised. And when they can hear your voice, it totally changes. And, I feel like the door is more open for them to say yes when you can have a conversation with them. So.
Yeah, for sure. And just my experience in the events is it's almost like I categorize it. So like it's going after me
Nope, she hadn't yet. I don't even know if Sarah's totally up to date because she's up in Ottawa, right? So
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So just for people that are local here in kind of the Toronto area, you guys know that there's 3 events that are happening. It's a corporate event. So just like Sarah said, corporate spends a lot of money to fly them in, to pay for their hotels, to pay for their food. And they're really for us to tap into and leverage. We only get 1, 2, 3, 4 of them a year, corporate events, and it's a pretty big deal. So we've got Friday lunch and berry. Tickets are still available. The link is on Juice Plus Canada's site for the berry one. For the Aurora one, which we're hosting, is on Friday night. And so again, really important just to let you know who this woman is. I know that she's like, people are like, oh, like, is she a health professional? No, she's not a health professional. She's probably got, I would say, Melissa Hyde's energy, high energy. She's a mom of 5. She's been in the business for quite a while, and very similar to, if any of you guys have seen, Melissa talk in front of the room just about her journey. She's doing her talk from hot dogs to hemp seeds. Very similar. She's going to be talking about take healthy back. So she's just a mom that has a big heart. She's supposed to be hilarious. I've never seen her speak in front of the room, but she was out as one of the featured guest speakers at the Banff boot camp where there were like 400 people. So really, really powerful in front of the room. And when she hit NMD, she went from NMD, so usually NMD is like a 12 club, 15 club. She went to 100 club in a year. So not only will she be sharing her passion about whole food, but on Saturday, obviously, she is going to definitely captivate you with, how she moved fast in this business and how she grew a 100 club organization so fast, I'm going to say within the year, which is crazy because I know what it takes to build that empire. So those are the events that are coming up. Do anybody have any questions, or do you want us to train a little bit on verbiage of how to invite? Or are you guys feeling okay about that? So it's free on the evening event on Friday. Doors open at 7:30 it starts. And oftentimes I'll just say, hey, friend, I haven't seen you in a long time. I'd love to just, buy you a glass of wine and social after 1 hour talk to really inspire you or to get you back on track with your health. Please share verbiage. Okay, yeah, so there was some verbiage that I would do if it was a friend of mine or even if it's a customer. So what I do is I post my event in my customer page, and then I target people that I know are in the area that are engaged in my page and in my shred, and I know they're in the game of whole food nutrition and they're liking my stuff. I would just reach out. So today, an example would be, I reached out to my neighbor Jill. I said, hey Jill, how's it going? Just curious what you're doing Friday night. And I didn't tell her why or what. And then she said, oh, I've got my boys this week. And I said, oh, okay, no problem. She goes, why? And I said, oh, I wanted to bring you out so that you could social and meet my tribe. I always call it my tribe. And she's a customer, and she's piquing on the interest of the business. And she said, oh my gosh, I would have loved to if I didn't have my boys, but they're young and whatever. And she only sees them once a week. So no problem. But I keep on, I've invited her to like 3 or 4 events, and it just hasn't been the right time. But I'm going to keep on asking because she's interested. I followed up with somebody today that is on my prospect list that I met on social media, who's a nutritionist in Toronto. Just reached into her. I just started with a conversation. Hey, how are you? Haven't talked to you in a long time. What's going on? And she just reached out and said, oh, I'm okay. Some health issues going on. And I said, oh, that's really too bad. Tell me more about that. So we just got into a little bit of a conversation. So again, not just like going for the jugular, just connecting with somebody on a deep level. And then after that, I just said, hey, I don't know what you're doing on Saturday, but I know that you're interested in our business. And then I just said, we've got an event from 9 to 1. I'd be more than happy to purchase your ticket. You're going to get an opportunity to really take a look at our opportunity and our products and decide if this is something that fits with your lifestyle. Because I know that she's looking for something. She just hasn't made a decision. And her response was, I'm going to see if I can borrow my neighbor's car. I'll get back to you. So that's kind of verbiage. Melissa, do you want to share a little bit of verbiage of how you've been inviting for the upcoming event?
Just reaching out to people, and it's about the enthusiasm. You could be out. You could be inviting them out to go and paint rocks on your driveway. If you're excited about it and you want to see them and let's have a glass of wine, they will come if they're free, right? If it sounds like a good time. What I try to do is put myself in their shoes. So if somebody works full time and they're working 9 to 5 and, then they get home and they got to feed their family, the last thing I want to say is, hey, do you want to come out and hear this speaker? You're going to learn lots of stuff. And it's Friday night. They've worked all week. That's probably the last thing they want to do is sit and be should on. You should do this and you should do this and all that stuff. They want to relax. They want to have a glass of wine, a laugh. So just say, hey, just kind of like a girls' night out. If you've got a group in your area, go pick them all up. That way you can ensure that they're going to show up for the event, and maybe go for dinner first. Or say you're going to get together, we'll grab some drinks afterwards and make it a girls' night, but just get excited about it. And the speaker's the draw, but it's so much more than that, right? It's the same reason why we're all here. The education's awesome. The product is awesome, but it's the community. It's being part of this and hanging out with each other, right? So that's what you want to get your prospect excited about, is having fun, especially on a Friday night.
Yeah, for sure. And if you do get a guest out, you want to make sure that you're introducing the guest to our circle. So just don't bring your guest and not introduce them. It's really important to say, hey, I want you to meet Nicole, or hey, I want you to meet Melissa. She's at, because oftentimes it's that third party validation that people need. I remember when Andrea Monroe White, who is my SSC, one of my SSCs, when she came, I invited her out to Prevention Plus, and at the end, she's like, no, I don't think I need it. I juice every day. And then I pulled like 3 or 4 different people after the event, and she actually got to hear their stories. So I strategically put certain people in front of her so that they could hear a very similar story of what Andrea was going through. Like, oh, I don't think I need it. And I'm like, oh, you got to meet Karen. She was like that. Oh, you got to meet, so-and-so. She was like that. And it started to build her belief. And then literally 2 weeks, later, she was like, okay, I think I need this. And my dad wants to sign up. So make sure that you reach out to people. And that's why it's so important to know everybody's stories eventually, because then you can match up stories to your guest, if that makes sense. So, okay, so that's great. Any other comments or questions about that? With inviting, just be you, be real, just be excited, as Melissa said. And you just have to get into action, right? For every 10 people that you invite, you're lucky if you're going to get one person to show up. And then you want to make sure that night you confirm before. And you might even need to go pick them up, because oftentimes people are like, just skip it. I didn't have to pay for it. But if they know that you are counting on them to be there, then they'll probably show up. So the follow-up is really important at that last minute. So other thing we want to talk about is around grad calls and the new schedule. So I know it's been a little bit confusing. People are like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? Help me. So just want to clarify, a couple of the changes and why we made them. So after coming back from conference, we learned from a lot of the movers and shakers that they're doing some pretty fantastic stuff with the grad calls. And what we learned is their own grad calls were getting way too big, and there wasn't that personal touch and that one-on-one kind of like accountability and check-in. And I know when we started doing the fast track to VFs, we had 30 people. And I remember I got on there and I was so overwhelmed. I wasn't expecting 30 people to jump on. And then I didn't know anybody. I was like, who are these people? And then we literally had to spend that first 30 minutes introducing everybody, figuring out where they lived, whose team they were on, when did they join, and we never got any training in. And I thought, oh my gosh, if our calls are going to be this big every week, how are we going to literally roll up our sleeves and really love on everybody individually? And the training that we got from our leaders was you can't do that. The whole point of these little mini calls is to really talk to each one of you and say, okay, if you're fast tracking the VF, we want to know, okay, where are you at this week? You're at 500 points, or you're at 700 points, or you're at 900 points. Okay, what are we going to do with with you for this week so we can, get you closer to that 2,500. So we made an executive decision as a leaders group is to every leader that is an SSC or higher is going to kind of break out with maybe a couple of the sideline partners and train you so that you can have that more one-on-one kind of coaching so that we can really help you get to Fast Track VF. And then after that, we thought we'll put you guys then into a bigger group, which is the club level group and then the SC group. So those are still all the training is happening. It's just that Fast Track to VF is a smaller individual group. And you have to follow up with your sponsor to get the time and the day that they're doing it. Because I know everyone's a bit different. I know a lot of people are still doing Monday nights at 8 o'clock. But there's a different Zoom call because everybody has kind of their own Zoom number to tap into. Some people are doing it during the day, and some people have actually picked like a different day that works for them. So just make sure that you tap in. So that would be kind of like if you're new and you're trying to get to our third position in the marketing plan, Fast Track to VF, that's the group that you're going to tap into and get the love that you need to help you get there. And then on Mondays at 8:30 is our club group. So once you hit BF, you're going to stay in this group until you get to sales coordinator. And it's going to be shares. It's going to be wins. Like yesterday or on Monday, I was leading it. And there was just enough information and kind of stories and sharing. And people were sharing, this is working for me. This is what I've got set up. And it just gives you that inspiration that a lot of you need to keep your glass full. And it was a really raw talk on Monday because there was a group that were like, this is hard. And we had a conversation around that. It's being hard. And what do we do when it's hard? And so those are what those calls are. And there will be trainings on it. And it's just dependent, like you guys are going to kind of be leading it to say, hey guys, next week, could you help us? Could you train on this? Or could you do this? So every week is going to be a little bit different, but you always will hear stories and wins and challenges that hopefully will keep on filling your glass so that you can keep moving in the marketing plan. So that's 8:30 till 9 will be that club level, and then from 9 to 9:30 will be that sales coordinator group. Okay, so any questions around that? And each of the leaders, so that's going to include Melissa, Jen, Sarah, and myself. There's 4 of us NMDs now here in Canada. We're going to be rotating around on Mondays for those trainings. So you're going to get different training every week. So it's not going to be me where you're like, oh my God, I'm so sick of hearing from Nicole. You'll get that variety of leadership because we all have our own style and our own personality. And I think it's important to hear from all of us because we all can learn different stuff. Melissa, did I explain that right? Is there any clarity you think I need for the?
Nope, I think it's good. I just think it's confusion for a lot of people because it's new, because we have so many calls. We're just trying to get as much information out to you guys, do as much training as possible in the best way possible. So if you're confused, it's okay. You're not alone. It took Nicole a little while to get a hold of all this schedule, to be honest. So yeah, just reach out to your upline. If they don't know, then reach out to one of the 4 of us. We can explain it to you, but please tune into calls as often as you can. You will get so much out of it. It's just like the events, right? These are an event. So look forward to seeing everybody graduate out of those groups into something new.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very exciting. Okay, what time do we have, Melissa? Are we doing
8:57. We're done.
Okay.
Unless there's any questions.
Yeah, we're just about wrapped up. I think we're going to do grad calls. I think that was pretty much our topic. We wanted to really nail down events and grad calls. Well, those were our top 2 priorities. Any other comments, thoughts? Everybody good? Last thing would be just tomorrow night. You guys want to tune into the Healthy Living Revolution call. It starts at 9 o'clock. Our superstar new NMD, Sarah, is going to be leading it with 3 of her teammates. It will be a 30-minute call where people can tune in. It's the script. So they're going to be following the script where you can actually invite a prospect on to hear about the product, the business, and the stories. We did them from January till the end of March with the 90-day game plan. And there's a break for 2 months. until it gets up and running. But we didn't want to stop because we got such great feedback, and a lot of you were getting new customers from it, and we're getting distributors from it. So we wanted to continue it. So we're really excited. The flyer is on our Team B site, and it's so easy to invite. You just have to let people know it's a webinar. It's a live webinar. And so, because some people get freaked out if they're actually going to, like, is somebody going to see my face? But no, it isn't. It's a live webinar where somebody goes in and they just see one face. And it's not like this Zoom, because this Zoom is not set up as a webinar. So you say it's easy. You just, all you do is you log in and it starts, and you just listen and you watch to the stories, and then I'll follow up with you and you can tell me what you think. So a great opportunity. So these are going to be happening from now until July 1st, just with our team. Again, another event. So for those, I'm going to say introverts, because I have a new distributor that is an introvert, and she likes to stay home, but she can handle inviting people to this type of event because it feels good and comfortable for her. So different events resonate with different people. And so again, we're trying to give you guys as much variety as possible so that you can build your business. So we're always working behind the scenes to give you things to invite so that you can keep on building that belief and third-party validation to help you build your team and your customer base. So on that note, thanks for joining. Sorry that I was late. I was running teenagers, and I actually thought it was Thursday, and I was rushing home to get home for 9 for the Healthy Living Revolution. So even NMDs, our brains get overloaded, and we're like, oh my God, what day is it? But thanks so much, team, for all that you do. And hopefully we'll see a lot of you on Friday night in Aurora and Saturday at the Regional. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.